Alright, for this video, we're basically going to apply everything that we learned in the last video, and the new things that we learned were the upper quartile, the lower quartile, and the inner quartile range. And we're going to apply this, and we're going to make what's called a box and whisker plot. We might have started this in class. If we did, that's great. You can just use this as a supplement to give you more of an understanding. You can kind of see the purpose. You could take this down right now. The purpose, as we've been saying before, we can visually see the distribution of data. So if I look at a box and whisker plot right away, I can pretty much sum up where the numbers generally kind of cluster towards, the middle part of that data. Okay, the other thing you can take down, I didn't have a space for it, so if you can just squeeze it in the top there, we're going to do the same thing we did on the last data. We're going to put two lists, and we're going to say it's a first class scores and a second class scores. We'll put all the first class scores in red and the second class scores in green. Okay, the only new thing that we're going to add in here is we're going to add in what's called the upper extreme and lower extreme. Now that's real easy. Think of it, extreme means, you know, something that's to the very top or to the very bottom. So we'll say upper extreme is the largest number, and if I look at the first class, well, that's just 90. The lower extreme is the smallest number. So for the first class, it's 57. If you subtract the extremes, it would give you the range. Actually, I'll go right to this. So if I subtract these, I'm going to do, really for the first class, 90 minus 57. And that would give me, what is that, 33. I'm going to do all the first class scores first, and then I'll do the second class. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing we did before. And the good thing, just like the last video, all the scores are in order. So it's going to make my work a little bit easier here. Okay, let's find the median. Right? If I always have to find the median before I find the upper quartile or the lower quartile. So it's a number that's exactly in the middle. If I look at this first class, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's an odd set. So the fourth number is exactly in the middle, which is this 65. So I'm going to circle this. That's exactly in the middle. I'll put N for median. I have 3 numbers to the left of it, 3 numbers to the right. So the median there is 65. Okay, if I want to find the upper quartile, right, I go past this. I don't include this 65. So the numbers that are in the upper half are just 82, 85, and 90. Well, 85 is a number exactly in the middle for the upper half. So 85 there, that's the UQ. So I'll list this. 85 is the UQ. Okay, the lower quartile, I look at the numbers that lead up to the median. So it's just 57, 62, and 65. Well, 62 is right in the middle. So 62 is the LQ. That 62 is the LQ. So I'll put that here. And if I wanted to find the inner quartile range, remember I just subtract these two numbers. So if I do 85 minus 62, that gives me 23. All right, let's do the, you know what, let's just do the first class. That's it. We'll do the second class in class the next day. Okay, we'll make this as short as possible. So let's take all of this, and we're going to make what's called a box and whisker plot. The information I need 5 key points, and these are all 5 key points. So what you're going to do to make a box and whisker plot is I'm going to move down here. Okay, I'm just going to do the first class. I'm going to do this in red. Okay, I'm going to plot all of these points on a real number line, and I have them all listed from 55 to 90, and I'm just going up by 5. So let's see here. If I plot this, the lower extreme 57, that would be right about here. Let's see here. If I plot the upper extreme 90, it's right here. Then all the other points are going to be in between because those are the extremes. The median is 65, which is right here. Let's see here. The upper quartile is 85, so this is right here. And the last point, the lower quartile is 62, which will be a little bit past 60, is right about here. Okay. Now, I mentioned this before. When you do the box and whisker plot, the main part is the inner quartile range. And remember, the inner quartile range is when you're going from the lower quartile to the upper quartile. So that, I'm going to make the box. Now, this is the lower quartile right here. This is the upper quartile. I connect this with a box. And then where the median is inside that, I put a line through it. That's the median. and then I have lines going out to the extremes. All right. Now you might think, well, what does this mean? Why do we do this? Well, you can see, if I use my arrow, most of the numbers are between 62 and 85. But when you look at the middle set of the data, the median is furthest to the left. So what this is telling you is that the scores, they're not as good because the median's moved more over to the left. If the median, let's say, was like over here, it would tell you that the scores are a little bit better. Okay? So that's all we need. We have, let's just summarize this. You just need 5 points. I'll use LE, that's lower extreme. LQ, that's lower quartile. M is the median. Then we have UQ, that's the upper quartile, and UE, that's the upper extreme. And that, folks, is your box and whisker plot.